Well, Leroy Chiao is a former NASA astronaut and commander of the International Space Station and joins us from Houston. Thanks so much for coming on the programme.
Oh, my pleasure. Great to be here.
So how frustrating is this then?
Well, this kind of, brings me back to my first days at NASA in the early 1990s when we were having all kinds of hydrogen leak issues with the space shuttle, and it just seemed like we were never going to be able to launch shuttles again until, we had delay after delay on different vehicles. But we finally got that solved, and I'm sure that the technical team here will get these problems solved. This is a new leak that hadn't been seen in previous tanking. And in other words, the small leaks that were seen on Monday's attempt were from a different area, and so it's
just on exactly that point. Is that I can't work out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like it's you don't want leaks all over the place, I suppose. But I suppose it's good news that they fixed the first leaks. But it just doesn't seem great.
Well, I should clarify that. Monday, we thought there was a leak because they observed some ice. Turned out it was a crack in the insulation, the orange insulation,
right.
And the cold metal allowed condensation and ice to form. So they initially thought it was a hydrogen leak, but it turned out not to be. So I should correct myself on that. But yes, you're right. you don't want multiple leaks. But this one cropped up unexpectedly. And in the words of the mission management team, there are options of trying to repair it at the pad or to roll back. Roll back would be a much bigger delay than trying to repair it at the pad. But NASA has not officially made a decision one way or the other yet.
So it's really interesting to hear you say that there's similar problems with hydrogen going back a long time. It's a long-standing, it's difficult stuff to deal with. So, yeah, what do you make of the options now going forward?
Right, yeah, so liquid hydrogen is the trickiest propellant to deal with. It's cryogenic, it likes to leak a lot. But the options going forward are just to go ahead and fix this problem and try to fly as soon as we can. There are other constraints, of course, availability of the range over at the launch facility. And so, I think we're looking at, like it was said earlier, where it's not going to be in the next week or so. It'll be in the next several weeks, or if we have to roll back, it may be a month or so. Anyway, this is a new vehicle, and these things happen, unfortunately. Of course, it is using heritage hardware. It's using the Space Shuttle main engines, very well understood. It's using basically the backbone, if you will, of the external tank of the shuttle, also very well understood, as are the solid rocket boosters. So I'm a little surprised that maybe there's been the issues there have been, but, we just have to deal with it and fly when we're ready.
And just lastly and just briefly, we want to try and get humans back on the moon as soon as possible is NASA's aim. Is it 2025-ish? What's your betting on whether that actually happens?
I don't think we're going to be able to get humans back on the surface of the moon by 2025. I think the idea is maybe by then we can get an Apollo 8 type mission, that is launch astronauts into orbit around the moon but not land. And the reason I say that is we don't have a lander yet. We have contracts with companies like SpaceX to help NASA build a lander, but even that program is not fully funded. And so, we're going to have to kind of wait and see on when we might actually land humans. Now, on the other hand, the other side of that card is there are a lot of commercial companies working on space endeavors, including SpaceX, which is helping NASA, which has a NASA contract to help develop a lander based on Starship technology. Possible that we could do some kind of a collaborative effort, NASA and SpaceX, as they're already working together on ISS.
So long and short of it is more delays ahead. Leroy Chiao, thank you very much for sparing the time and coming on the programme. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.